In the wake of the 9/11 attacks, countless individuals responded with compassion and immeasurable acts of service that brought communities together and gave us hope for the future. Through capturing and sharing these stories of generosity and selflessness, including those that carry on that legacy today, we can inspire a new generation of service more than 2 decades later. In this film, you will also hear about the 9/11 Memorial and Museum Visionary Network, a group of young professionals, 9/11 family members, veterans, survivors, and engaged citizens who seek to connect with their peers through their commitment to never forget. May their examples inspire and remind us that in our darkest days, the most profound opportunities to be of service to others can emerge and help build a brighter tomorrow.
Remembering those lost on 9/11 is of vital importance to all of us. As someone who was impacted by the events of September 11, 2001, I've decided to give back to my community ever since that tragic day.
I am a 9/11 survivor myself. I was a student just a few blocks from here at Stuyvesant High School on 9/11, and in the aftermath of 9/11, I started an organization called Sty Health.
To honor the memory of 9/11, I have really been inspired by my dad and following in his footsteps. He was a New York City fireman on 9/11, and he was a lieutenant, so he was all about leadership and building community in his firehouse. I have been doing this event called the Spirit of 9/12, where it's in partnership with Stars of Hope, and I bring families and kids together to paint stars and talk about spreading that message.
We got started because my dad's story was such a strong metaphor and inspiration. So he was last seen holding the door for others to help people. We couldn't pass up that inspiration and not do something with it.
The most rewarding aspect of giving back is doing it in honor of those lost on 9/11 and those still suffering, those that were lost due to illness, and folks like myself who survived the events.
It took a long time, but people have started to note to me that they now have healthcare for 9/11 related health conditions because I told them about the programs or my organization told them about the programs.
Our team realized really quickly that if you're intentional, there are extreme positive benefits through healing, through helping others.
I think that everyone has a calling and everyone has a purpose. Why it's important to, be involved in civic engagement, but also know that no service is too small.
A couple weeks before my 43rd birthday, I was diagnosed with a 1 centimeter malignant tumor in my left breast. What's interesting for me is the ways in which my children have absorbed the events of that day, right? They're obviously learning about it somewhere. I've told them my story, they've seen things on television.
And it's important that the next generation remember that providing a service to your community is critical to not only uniting us and bringing us together, but having a better understanding.
I hope my story inspires others to pursue a path of service. I hope that the next generation can learn from not just my story, but many other stories.
We need younger generations to pick us up, and it could be as simple as the act of holding the door for others.
There are a lot of ways to be engaged on a civic level. The role of being a local busybody is important because that's who keeps eyes on your block.
Take your experience and finding how you can help and inspire others.
So not only reflect on that day, remember what happened on September 11, 2001, but live your life and every day like we did on September 12, 2001.